Good day, everyone. This is exercise number 3 entitled Monohybrid, Dihybrid, and Modified Ratios.
1. Introduction. Mendel's important contribution to the science of genetics was the demonstration that the appearance of different characters in heredity followed specific laws that could be determined by counting the diverse kinds of offspring produced from any particular set of crosses.
Objectives: A student must be able to A. Differentiate the phenomenon in monohybrid, dihybrid, and modified ratios. Letter B. Demonstrate skill and solving problems on crosses following modified ratios. And C. Explain the significance of determining traits using crosses.
Okay, let's move on to the material or equipment. Pen, paper, roller.
4. Procedure. Number 1. Find samples of crosses for monohybrid, dihybrid, and modified ratios. Number 2. Familiarize yourself with some common terms for Mendelian and non-Mendelian crosses by answering the crossword. Number 3. Create a problem for each trait following monohybrid, dihybrid, and modified ratios. Number 4. Diagram properly the solution in every problem.
So, in a data and observation in a crossword puzzle. Number 1, in a cross, it is a differing alleles for a trait in an individual. So, from the word differing alleles, it is heterozygous. Number 3, a locus on a chromosome but a sex chromosome. Yes, it is autosomal. Number 4, change in the DNA sequence of a gene to some new heritable form. The answer is mutation. Number 5, the physical appearance of an organism with respect to a trait. The answer is phenotype. Number 7, one gene masks the expression of a different gene for a different trait. It says that it is epistasis. Number 9, genes that are inherited together on the same chromosome. Yes, it is right. It is linkage. Number 10, a trait expressed preferentially over another trait. Yes, exactly. It is dominant. Number 11, last number in a cross. It is a different form of gene. Yes, the answer is alleles. So let's move on to the down portion. First, number 1 in down. Both alleles for a trait are the same in an individual. From the word alleles for a trait that are the same, no? It is homozygous. Number 2, a single gene determines more than one phenotype of an individual. It is pleiotrophic. Number 6, the genetic constitution of an organism with respect to a trait. It is genotype. And last number, it is generally a cross involving a homozygous recessive individual. It is a test cross.
Difference between monohybrid, dihybrid, and modified ratios. Monohybrid. Monohybrid cross is the cross between plants having one pair of contrasting characters. Dihybrid. Dihybrid cross is the cross between two plants having two pair of contrasting characters. Modified ratios. These ratios are observed when the products of genes interact.
Number 3. Circle the choices that are examples of each of these words. Number 1. dominant allele. All of the capital letters in the choices are dominant allele, which are A, D, E, G, and H. Recessive allele is the opposite of the dominant allele, which is the small letters in the choices, which are J, K, N, and O. The homozygous dominant is also the capital letters, which are the double Q, double S, and double W. The homozygous recessive is the small letters, a combination of small letters, which are the letter X, B, and D. Genotypes in which dominant gene must show is all of the choices that have the capital letter in it, which is the E, F, G, I, J, and K. And the genotypes in which recessive gene must show is the opposite of the question in number 5, which is only the small letters are present in the choices, which is only the double P.
Number 4. Monohybrid cross. Based on the experiment of Grigor Mendel in pea plants, yellow-seeded plants Y is dominant to green-seeded plants Y. Complete these 4 Punnett squares showing different crosses, then shade red all homozygous dominant offspring. Shade green all the heterozygous offspring. Leave all the homozygous recessive offspring unshaded.
So in answer number 5, DIHYBRID crossed. Possible outcomes and ratios of genotype and phenotype of a couple who are tongue rulers and PTC tasters heterozygous for both traits. So the capital R stands for tongue ruler. Small letter R stands for non-tongue ruler. Capital T stands for PTC tasters, and small letter T stands for non-PTC tasters. So upon showing the Punnett square, uh, we come up with a genotype ratio wherein there is one capital RR, capital TT, two capital RR, capital T and small t, one capital RR, small t t, two capital R, small r, capital T T, four capital R, small r, capital T, small t, two capital R, small t t, one small r, and capital T T, and two small r, capital T, small t, and the last one is one small r, and small tt. So the phenotype ratio. There are 9 tongue rulers and PTC taster, 3 tongue ruler and non-PTC taster, and 3 non-tongue ruler but PTC taster. And the last is 1 non-tongue ruler and non-PTC taster.
6. Based on the given examples of traits in certain plant or animal species, create your own problem crosses following any of the modified ratios condition. First is monohybrid, which is incomplete dominance. The problem is, in a cross between a white-furred rabbit and a black-furred rabbit, neither allele is dominant. The genotype is 4WB, and the phenotype is 4 mixed traits of black and white furred rabbit. Next is dihybrid. A white man with a blonde hair married a black woman with a black hair. What is the possible phenotype ratio of the children who carries different genes? The dominant trait is white skin, which is double capital C, and the recessive here is the black skin, which is double small c's. And the blonde hair is a heterozygous trait, so it is capital H and small h. And the recessive trait is a black hair, which is a double small h. We came up with a ratio of 9 white skin with black hair, 3 white skin with blonde hair, 3 black skin with black hair, and 1 black skin with blonde hair.
So, in the question, how did Mendel prove the genotype of F1 plant? So, upon working on pea plant, Mendel found out that between parents that differed from one trait produced F1 offspring that will express one parent trait.
So in conclusion, the appearance of the offspring with the different the character traits in heredity is demonstrated by genetics and following specific laws in order to determine the counts of diverse kinds of offspring that will be produced from any particular set of crosses.